morning. Oops, let's try it that way. Stay. Well, Laura, nice to have you here. This got inspired this morning because I've been seeing posts over Facebook and social media about Friday the 13th, and I want to speak to that. So this is not my normal scope. It's just an ad hoc scope before I do my usual ones. So come on in if you're coming first time. Thanks for joining me. Please make sure that you do tap the little guy in the corner and tap on my name and follow me. And also please share this on Twitter and on follows and Periscope. This might trigger some people, but I want to just give you some perspective on the idea of Friday the 13th, because today is Friday the 13th. As you heard the meow, that was a black cat walking across to the front, which cracks me up. It's like, this is superstition stuff is so amazing. So, thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming in. I'm hoping to see some folks coming in I know from other places, because this is 10:30 a.m. Pacific time on Friday morning. A lot of people I know are active and about today. So they may be joining the scope now, maybe joining it later. So I'm going to jump right in to make this quick, because I've got a meeting in half an hour, and I'll make sure I get everything covered. So, Friday the 13th. For a lot of people, particularly in the Western world, it's a day of bad luck. A day of being careful and cautious and worried and superstitious. And I want to blow that out. Simply want to blow it out. Because for me, superstition... it's like, how do I want to say this? Superstition has it has a hold over people quite often. So I'm just trying to, I'm watching how to language this and get it into the conversation. Let me ask you, well, let me back it up a second. First of all, hi, welcome. If you're here for the first time, I'm just right into the topic and ignoring all you folks out there, my apologies. Here for the first time, please type in like 1 in the comments so I know that you're first time. And if you're regulars, you put in a 2 so I know it's you. And again, if you're not following me yet, please make sure you do tap on the little guy in the corner and click on follow me, and also share it on Periscope, and share it on Twitter, that's the word, and on Periscope as well, and tap on the screen for hearts. Let me ask you this question. Are you superstitious? And is Friday the 13th good, thumbs up, or bad, thumbs down? I want to get a sense of where you are, so I can see if in fact you're going to get direct impact from what I'm about to teach you and share with you. So if you want the comments, please, I'd appreciate that, so I know, one, that you're actually actively watching versus just having it running in the background, and 2, if you are interested in this topic. Yes? Any comments, any thoughts? And it takes a couple of seconds. There's a time delay from broadcast to response. Any questions, any thoughts, anything going on? Yes, no? I may have to just proceed right ahead anyway. This is going to become a teaching module, I think, for some of my audience. No? Okay, keep going. So, Friday the 13th. It carries a weight, particularly... Okay, nice to have you here. This is a non-relationship focused topic, by the way. Talking about Friday the 13th, because it just came up, because I saw it posted all over Facebook today, and I was just going to, let me speak to that, because I have some knowledge and some learning I've learned over the years that might be of use to people. So good to have you here. Good morning. And good afternoon to where you are. So are you superstitious about Friday the 13th? Because nobody else has answered yet. I thought maybe you would at least be someone to interact with. Or does it have impact in your life in any way? Yes, no? Oh, the speed of this system. It's like any Friday. Okay, good. I'm glad you have it that way. Thank God it's Friday, exactly. Well, Friday the 13th origins comes from the Last Supper. There are tales I've heard, and there are other ones too, but the ones I've and I'll tell you why in a moment, why I've heard this way, is that Friday the 13th was looked upon as a bad day, or a bad luck day, because around Jesus' time, now I'm not a religious person, so I'm not going to do some preaching thing, but I'm going to teach you some things about what's been written in history and how it applies to us. There's some lessons in here. First of all, the reason why Friday the 13th is looked upon as a bad day is because there were 13 people, officially, because I don't think that's actually true, but 13 people at the Last Supper. And the Last Supper is famous in the history of the Bible because that's when Jesus was like, that's the end of it, things are over. I'm shortcutting this whole thing so you can get the point. And so it was on a Friday, supposedly, which I don't know if the calendar was that accurate back then, but anyway, 13 people at the Last Supper gives the those people who are devout Christians, particularly, a bad taste as that being not a lucky number. It's why 13 is a bad number anywhere. Actually, what I believe is I thought Judah was the 13th because he was the 13th disciple. Or in my bottom line is that the 13th was supposed to be, I thought, was the traitor. Now it could be both ways. So bottom line is 13 collectively. That was the bad number because that was when things ended badly for Jesus in the Bible. So, going forward in history, one of the stories that I've heard, and there are more than one, but one of the stories I heard was that people looked upon the Friday the 13th as a bad day because it was a bad memory from the Bible. And so people look at Friday the 13th, and particularly the number 13, like there are no 13th floor in the elevators. There's most elevators in most buildings. 13th Street isn't very popular. In fact, in Los Angeles, where I live in Santa Monica, 13th Street, they go 10th, 11th, 12th, Euclid, 14th, 15th, 16th Street. They actually named 13th Street something else because I didn't want to put the name in number 13 on the street. So there's a certain superstitious fear of the number 13, which is understandable, but also not true. Because the thing is, just a perspective difference. I was raised Jewish. And of course, interesting enough, I had my bar mitzvah on my 13th birthday. In the Jewish faith, 13 is a lucky number. Maybe because of the opposite reason, because the Jews did not have they weren't big fans of Jesus. Although the funny thing is that Jesus wasn't actually a Christian, he was a Jew, but teaching principles beyond the faith. Anyway, that's another conversation. I'll get into a whole philosophical discussion about that another time. But I want to bring to the table is that two different perspectives of the same situation create a different, I'm glad you like that one, two different viewpoints on the same situation create different responses. So for the Christians, Friday the 13th became a bad luck day. For the Jews, Friday the 13th became a good luck day. Interesting how that works. Now, that's the context, that's the history, that's the historical, at least that's what I'm studying as a kid. Now, that was a few years ago. I'm not a kid anymore. But there's a sense that there's more to the conversation. And certainly if you have something about Friday the 13th that is in your way, consider that. But now consider this. One of my spiritual teachers, because I'm very much in spiritual studies over the last 20, 30 years, he phrases luck this way, as an acronym. Luck is living under conscious knowledge, L-U-C-K, meaning that we make our own luck. When we know who we are, when we know that we're not at the whim of some other influence and force out there, we make our own choices, then luck isn't something that happens to us. Luck is something we create. Yes. Excuse me. That was a surprised sneeze. Sometimes that happens in good news. So my point to make is this clear one, is you have choice. You have volition, you have control, and you can make your own luck. Not really expected I was going to go with this, I suspect. But this is the point that I was really trying to bring to the table is, Friday the 13th is a red flag in some people's lives. Oh my God. It's like, no. Luck is a choice. You know, I have a friend of mine who, right, I'm saying the phrase "take care of the cat," who's a black cat, and in the bad luck scenario, black cats figure highly. Well, my luck doesn't change because this guy stole me, walks in front of my feet, or behind me, or meows, sits in my lap, or any of that stuff. So, how come black cats have this bag on record in the idea of luck and bad luck? It doesn't make sense. So for me, the superstitious stuff it's not automatically assumed, let's put it that way. So I want to tell you as a reminder to you that luck is something you create because you set up your own beliefs. And this goes back to, interestingly, quite superstitious, but number 13 or black is not scaring me. I find them lucky. Good. Well, it's that thing. And it's interesting when you use superstitious for your benefit, not your detriment. Because a lot of people have superstitious as if they don't do 17 things at once, then the day's going to go crappy. Which is really their own self-talk. Because and I've done it myself, we create our own reality. We create our own experience. We create our own possibilities. So by having a choice and a conscious focus on what we want versus what we don't want. Because the thing about superstition is, if we say that this means this bad thing's going to happen, we're setting an intention for something bad to happen. This is simple stuff. I think you're getting this. It's not always easy, though, because we've been programmed and trained over many years to learn certain things. So the point I want to make succinctly is, we create our own reality because of what we think. And most of the teachers I know, you talk about the law of attraction and the law of conscious creation, which is one of the other teachers I studied with, talks about this. It all starts there. Yes, you bring in other parts of the energy and your commitment and your actions as well. But it's that thinking that starts the whole thing in motion. So that's what I wanted to say, really. That's the bottom line. Friday the 13th is a superstitious belief that's carried by many people, but not all the same way, and not really with that much relevance. Because a lot of people who are, it's like you can make your experience that day based upon luck, or you can make your luck based upon your day. Either way. So my intention, what's what we're looking for? My motivation, inspiration to you is what you're thinking today. What's your words and your intentions today, what you create for your reality. In working with my clients in my coaching work, often what I'm doing is watching their words and then shifting their language so they change their reality. Even though it's about relationship primarily, I do work with people in their purpose too, but underneath it, the discrete thing I'm doing is actually changing the way they think and talk, because you change your reality. So that's it. That was really the scope. It was kind of a lightweight one, really. It wasn't like jubilation fun stuff, Friday the 13th. No, it's like just a thing to think about. That's kind of my scope's themes. So that's why I wanted to make sure you had something to think about. So that's it. And thanks for Aga for joining me this morning. There's only one viewer live, but I'm sure there'll be a bunch on the replay when I start promoting this over Facebook and social media. But just want to share that one. I'll do my regular scope in about an hour and a half. I've got a conference call in 15 minutes. But I will do a regular love scope today, and I'm also going to be on a share-a-thon later on today, which is about, with Perry 10K, my other group I'm part of, which is going to be about the one book you should read. You want to tune in for that too. So if you're watching the replay, make sure you do follow me too, because I'll be back on later on today with 2 more scopes soon. So thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves out there. And yeah, what does luck mean to you? I wish I had Twilight Zone theme in the music in the background. I don't, so I guess I have to go without. Enjoy. Have a great day, and I'll be back on soon.